That's right, boys. I read the entire match after waiting over a year for it to finish and saw the insane reveal about Nagi. Blue Lock is now approaching the 300 chapter milestone, and the longest arc thus far is seemingly over. The Neo Egoist League was filled with next level moments, some of the longest matches, and truly evolved every major character. The main purpose, as a reminder, was training the players for the Under 20 World Cup, with us now knowing the top 23 participating. But with that said, there is still much more we want revealed leading into the next arc that many people are excited for. Blue Lock's future is indeed bright. It's time to take on the world stage, which likely will result in the reveal of many more monsters, as still to this day we only have 3 of the new Gen 11 players revealed, and a fresh pace for the series will likely arrive as well. But I still stand with the view that Blue Lock's manga is better when you binge read it, particularly when a match ends up lasting longer than an entire year. But I'm back and expect all the Blue Lock content here on Mysterious Chad. But listen closely, as we have a lot of interesting things to break down, particularly as we still have no new information in regards to the manga slowing down at all, so greatness is approaching. Therefore, to begin, Isagi and Rin at number 1 was a very good choice in my opinion. Both of them leveled up to an insane degree during their match, particularly Isagi when it comes to his ego and understanding of how to continue this trend, with him having the best performance and rank 1 worthy from most people's perspective. But do not forget that prior to the final match, Isagi was 50 million below Rin, increasing by 90 million in this match, highlighting his perceived worth growth in comparison, and also ensuring that a key narrative aspect continues. What Rin outright says in response to this reveal: "It seems like the world wants us to be rivals." It indeed continues. Isagi managed to go from one of the top tiers around the start of this arc to a certified top 1 contender in Blue Lock, even challenging Noel Noah and other masters by the end, now being absolutely ready to take on the world. And potentially something even more wild is Barrow's reaction to this, saying, "That's right, loser, just what I expect from you as the number 1. Once again, another aspect highlighting Isagi's evolution throughout the arc and ranking within current Blue Lock, something I'll be breaking down in more detail in an upcoming video. But let's also not forget that bro pretty much defeated Kaiser, a new Gen 11 as well throughout this arc, alongside being a character that's gone through various highs and lows throughout every match in the entire league. But now that we've reached the end and the reveals in regards to Noah's goals, it seems as though Kaiser's stocks are definitely improved to much more. But in regards to the new Gen 11, I think a certain debate on who's perceived as the better overall player has indeed come to an end, and will likely change much more as we enter the new arc with all the other reveals coming up. But let's also not forget about the other pure strikers making up the top 5. Shido, who didn't perform the best in the previous match due to mostly being locked down the entire time outside of the start, something that would have gone absolutely wild if he didn't in that regard, highlighting his danger. Barrow, who had one of the biggest performance boosts throughout this arc with the most evolution compared to most other characters. Bartro became an absolute monster without a doubt when it comes to his ego, making up the top 5 pure strikers within the future of Blue Lock right now. Of course, we have Kunigami in 8th place, while most of the other guys making up the 23 are likely not going to be in the pure striking position moving forward. But the biggest shock and question on everyone's mind is Nagi not being in the top 23, meaning what is his role in the future of the story? Of course, he's one of the most popular characters and literally has his own side manga, something I believe closely connects to why this is occurring in the story. If they want to increase the sales of Nagi's side manga considering his popularity, having a lot more reveals in that side manga while the next arc is occurring without Nagi's main involvement will ensure his reintroduction to the main story will have much more understanding and hype around it, alongside fans just reading the side manga as well. If you want more of Nagi, read that, it's available. His part of the story is being fully outlined there. Isagi is still the protagonist, Blue Lock is his story, while the Nagi side manga is dedicated to him and will have all the reveals that we seemingly missed out on throughout this arc and will likely miss out on in the future. But again, it is unfortunate, but based on his performance for what we see, kinda deserved. Bro has absolutely fumbled, now wielding no ego and no aura, even though at the start of the most recent chapter, we have him going absolutely crazy, saying to Rio that he won't pass to him and I'll still win without you. Then after getting pressured later on in this chapter, what does bro do? Yeah, he does that. Pretty much a deserved downfall, and exactly what Bachara says here. You've got to do it alone here, even if it kills you. You're a failure of an egotist, as he scores the final goal in the final match of the Blue Lock Neo Egoist League, connecting to the reveal of all the other people making it into the top 23, the next stage, and those worthy for the under 20 Japan team, the next arc in Blue Lock most likely. Unless of course we're getting absolutely baited, which personally I doubt it's the case. I don't think Nagi is going to be involved in the next arc. We're probably going to see him from time to time in the main story. Maybe some wildcard insanity will be occurring once again. Something we still technically haven't had fully revealed in regards to Kunigami, who, if I'm being honest, also didn't have the best performance throughout this match. Yes, for the most part he was able to shut down Shido and got semi-revenge in regards to them winning the match, but still his evolution and all that revenge definitely has not occurred to any degree. Now when it comes to Blue Lock chapter 299, I believe we kinda need a stat sheet upgrade for a lot of the characters who made it, to get an understanding of where they currently rank when it comes to all their evolution throughout the recent matches, and maybe some comparison to some other characters we haven't really received these for thus far. That would be pretty interesting, all things considered. Maybe some reactions to those around the world watching, particularly some key players we'll be getting fully introduced to in the next arc, the next wall for the Blue Lock players to overcome. But all things considered, we're likely going to focus quite a bit on Nagi and Rio, considering we are about to see their separation for real this time in the Blue Lock story. Truly tragic. And with that, I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe for more Blue Lock content.